Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Bulltrap here, coming at you with another StarCraft commentary. This is a game from the GOMTV MSL, which was in 2007, I believe, at the beginning of 2007. It was like 2006-7, and I believe this game was actually played, January 4th of 2007. So right at the beginning of the year of 2007. The reason I'm doing this game is because I actually had a very generous donation from a person who identified themselves as Bisu fan. And Bisu fan asked if I could do some best of Bisu games. And so I'm going to do some Bisu games for sure. And so I thought, like, okay, what's the best of Bisu? Like, Bisu's had so many great moments. And I realized there was something which was a nice piece of StarCraft history that I have never actually watched. And I've referred to it a number of times, and I've learned about it, and I know the context or whatever, but I have never actually watched the finals between Savior and Bisu. And so I wanted to watch those finals, and I was about to cast those, but I wanted to take a step back because, you know, this is a StarCraft History channel now a little bit, and so we're going to get to those Bisu games, but what I wanted to do first was cast at least one other game before this. So this is the same MSL, but this is Savior versus Pusan. And the reason I wanted to do that is because basically the MSL finals between Bisu and Savior are considered to be a game changer as far as the PvZ meta. And so what I want to do is actually take a look at Savior versus a couple other Protoss players and watch how he plays, and then we'll have a little bit of context to watch, you know, how he beats other Protoss players, and we'll see how he plays basically, and then we can try and make some observations about the changes. So that's kind of something that we want to do here. Now, full disclosure, I may not be capable of understanding those changes. I may not be capable of understanding the differences between, you know, the way most Protosses were playing and the way that Bisu played his PvZ, which was different. And so, you know, we might not be able to really understand it, but at least let's go ahead and watch and find out. So we're going to watch a couple Savior games, at least one, maybe two Savior games versus Protoss players, and then we're going to do the MSL finals between Bisu and Savior from early 2007. And this is right before I really got hardcore into watching pro gaming and casting and such. Probably mid 2007 is when I really got into it a lot. So in any case, so we have an interesting situation here. We had Pusan, by the way. He put a gateway down first. He scouted Savior, and then he canceled the gateway, put down a Nexus, and now he's built a wall. But on this map, which I'm going to double check the name of this map, but on this map, Reverse Temple, that's right, Reverse Temple, which is like a, well, like a kind of a reversed version of Lost Temple, essentially. Same similar spawns, but with the main base below instead of above. Essentially, the high ground and the low ground are switched. Obviously, you can see there's some minerals that you could mine out to open up that wall, and Savior actually sent some drones across the map specifically to mine out those minerals to ruin the wall that Pusan had made. So Savior getting a third base here out on the map, by the way. And, you know, a little bit, you know, we've been watching these older games, and I don't think in 2004 you'd see a Zerg get a third base so quickly very often. Off just a few Zerglings, so that's something of note, just off the top of my head. But in any case, so very interesting situation here. Pusan is, you know, it's not going to be a big deal. That wall is, you know, a little bit messed up, but he's able to put a Zealot in there and stop it from being the Zerglings from getting in. Now the cannon, the cannon that he put up is too far back though. It's too far back, and this gateway is going to go down. So we might just have Pusan just kind of screwing up and putting his first cannon in the wrong place, and that might be why Savior wins this game rather than any kind of problems with the wall or anything like that. The gateway goes down. Now, is Savior going to actually run into the base? He's going after the Forge now, attacking the Forge, which I believe, it's hard to see if it's spinning or not. No, it's not spinning. There's no upgrade going on right now. But Savior doing some significant damage. Now, if Savior had another 6 or 8 Lings behind those, after he killed the gateway, he could have gone in and just won the game right now. But Savior instead has been droning up like crazy. And he's getting a Hydralisk dead very quickly. Which, you know, is normal, but I'm just taking note of it. He's not trying to rush for a Spire or anything like that. Another hatchery going down in his natural expansion as well. So, you know, not too dissimilar of ZVP play to what we see in 2021, honestly. This is kind of what we would normally see. Anyway, so I mean, you know, the meta hasn't changed that much over the years. But anyway, just something to think about. All right. Pusan is still been macroing behind this, though. You know, he's still been getting a bunch of probes. He hasn't lost really probes. He lost a gateway. That's pretty much it. He had to build maybe one more cannon that he wanted to. But other than that, you know, he's rebuilt this gateway. He's built another cannon. He hasn't really been significantly thrown off by this. It looked very like a hairy situation there. Second gas going now for Savior, going down. Anyways, it looked like a pretty hairy situation, but he was never actually in too much danger. Only because Savior didn't back up that attack with more Zerglings. He kind of didn't expect that to work probably, so he didn't make more Zerglings to follow up with a breach. A 4th hatchery going down in the southern part of the map already. Now there's 2 Corsairs on the map as well. They are countered by those Hydralisks, but they do have more mobility, so he's able to at least get around and do a scout, and Pusan's able to kind of look around the map, see what there is to see, and crucially see what Savior is up to. See, okay, there's no Spire. Don't have to worry about a Spire right now, but he's able to see all these hatcheries. Okay, there's the Spire actually. Pusan seeing it just the same time I did, but it's only half completed, so he's still able to kind of maintain control of the air if he wants to. You know, I think he only has 1 Stargate, but you know, he's going to be able to start producing a lot of Corsairs, and he could probably get ahead in the Corsair count and get up to, you know, 4 Corsairs before any Scourge can pop out, maybe 5. So if he wants to, he can play it safe, wait for 5 or 6 Corsairs, even get the Corsair weapons upgrade perhaps. And then he'll be really safe against air attacks since he has kind of an early lead. Savior macroing up like crazy. Does he have a 5th hatchery, or is this just 4 hatcheries? I think he might just have 4. But his 5th hatchery is actually at the 6 o'clock base instead of a 5th hatchery in his, you know, 3rd or his natural or his main or something like that. In any case, oh, he's already got lurkers out. He's able to outrange those front buildings now. He probably could with Hydralisks as well, but the lurker's going to do the job just fine as in addition. So he's going to be able to start harassing those front buildings. Again, not too dissimilar to this kind of thing we would see, you know, even in 2021. So, a couple Zerglings running in there just to test the waters, just to probe, so to speak, and see what's going on inside the base. See if there's a big army right there, ground army or something like that. I don't think he saw that Reaver, which is out now actually, and I don't think he's been able to see the robotics support base, so he may not be prepared for these Reavers. Yeah, you know, sometimes you'll see Zerg's players scout with Scourge as soon as they get that Spire. It's part of why they get the Spire, I think. It's part of the advantage of getting that Spire, even after you've gone for Hydralisk tech or even for Lurkers. You want those Scourge out for anti-Corsair, anti-shuttles as well. And they can do some scouting in addition. So, but I don't think he's quite run in there and actually seen the robotic support bay yet. We've got a 2nd Reaver out now, I believe. Or maybe it's just the same one crawling around. No, it looks like it's the 2nd Reaver. First one is in the shuttle. This is Corsair Reaver, ladies and gentlemen. Very classic PvZ play. You use the Corsairs to kill everything in the air. You use the Reaver to kill everything on the ground. Now, there's a lot of Hydralisks here, so I don't know how effective this is going to be. He's actually able to find a spot over the side where he can get a shot off. The Scourge immediately take out... No, the shuttle's still live? The shuttle is juked around so much, actually, he wasn't able to take it out with the Scourge. Very interesting. It looks like the Scourge have all died. We didn't catch to see if, you know, any of the Corsairs got taken out by some Scourge or something along those lines. But the shuttle still lives. I didn't see if he actually picked up that Reaver again, if he was able to actually save the Reaver or not. Either way, though, it looks like he's in good shape. Again, Pusan hasn't really lost too much now. He's up to several Corsairs. So he's basically at critical mass of Corsairs that if he just stands still, they won't die to Scourge. But there are a lot of Hydralisks here. The Reavers are running up maybe a little bit too close, but no. Giant Scarab shots pop off, destroying a number of Hydralisks. Very nice defense here. You know, that's the thing is when you see the Zerg macroing, you need something to defend against mass units. You need either Storm or you need the Reavers. The Sayer Reaver is a nice combo you can go for. So Pusan matching Savior pretty well with his tech. The crucial thing here, though, is like Pusan, he's you know, going toe-to-toe. He's trying to do some harassment. He isn't losing too much. He hasn't lost any economy. But he hasn't gained as much economy as Savior either. Savior has 4 bases right now. 3 gases only, but 4 bases. No, he's got a 4th gas. I didn't see that there's a gas at that that 3rd base because it wasn't next to the mineral. So he's actually got 4 gases. Starting to get a 5th base as well. And once the Zerg gets 4 gases and 4 bases, it's ridiculous. I mean, even if you have an even number of Protoss bases, like, it's still difficult to deal with a 4 gas Zerg. They can make so much stuff. Obviously, I would still give the advantage to a 4 base Protoss, but still, 4 bases of Zerg is kind of like a crucial tipping point where they can kind of get whatever they want. They can get any tech they want. Oh, look at these hidden Hydralisks. Burrowed, lying in wait for the shuttle to fly over. The DT runs right past them, though, actually, which is interesting. He's made the Templar Archives now. There's this DT standing right on top of the burrowed Hydralisk. It's kind of funny. They're both cloaked and can't really affect each other. Actually, I think the Overlord did see the DT, but he didn't want to reveal those Hydras by popping up. There's a nice clump of Corsairs running into the main here. He's actually going to divert over to the side and drop off Dark Templars now. See, look at that. The Scourge cannot touch the Corsairs, and now we've got Sayer DT, ladies and gentlemen. The Corsairs can chase off the Overlords. The DTs can do the damage. The Overlord gets in there and spots long enough for, I think, one of their Dark Templars to go down. No! All the DTs are still alive. Sorry, this is actually a terrible quality video. I think this is 240p or something like that, but it's all I could find. I could not find any better VODs of these games, unfortunately. One DT is going to go all the way up into the natural, but there's already spore colonies there anyway, so it's not a big deal. It's going to go down very quickly. So minimal damage done by the Dark Templars, but it does buy Pusan time to get his 3rd base up and running. He's been able to switch tech up. He's been able to get a bunch of Dragoons out as well. So Dragoons with Reavers are pretty good against mass Hydras. So that is a very strong army that he's got there. It's a little bit less mobile because he doesn't have the shuttles with it. There's the Hydras pushing in, and they're just going to have to fall back. There's too many Reavers right now. 3 Reavers is a lot of Reavers. Well, it's 3. It's 3 of them is how many it is. But it's a lot of Scarab output potential. Is what it's a lot of potential damage. And but again, Savior has 5 bases. He's got 5 bases now. And if he's got good drones at all those, he can just make just practically infinite Hydralisks. Here he comes in, trying to do a little poking and prodding. He's kind of baiting out some storms here. This is not a real attack. I guess it kind of is. But you know, he's not going all in or anything like that. He's just poking on the sides, getting some lurkers burrowed down. I think it's mostly again just to bait out storms, just to try and you know, poke the bear, try and find out if there's any weak spots in the wall of defense. See if there's any sort of Belgiums he can sneak through to get into the underbelly of the Protoss Empire at this point. But there is none. It's a pretty nice choke point. It's not really, actually, it's not even really a choke point that Pusan has, but it's a nice defensible position that he has. You can see right outside of his natural there. It's kind of got a few different angles that you could approach from, which is good for the Zerg. But Pusan has his unit set up in a nice little arc. He's got the Reavers kind of behind the Dragoons. He's got Zealots in there as well to push in. And these Corsairs are on a suicide mission for that Overlord. They're like, we want to get this Overlord regardless of if we die. 1 Corsair goes down. I don't know if he even got the Overlord there, but lost a couple Corsairs in the process. Not necessarily the best trade. Kind of want to keep those Corsairs alive and actually keep them with your army actually would be a better idea than just kind of running them in there. Maybe he was trying to do some scouting and lost track of them. Anyway, here comes Savior coming in to the natural, which is vulnerable as Pusan is pushed out towards the middle of the map a little bit. But now Savior is going to be forced to fall back with these forces. Again, not a huge force. So not really an attempt at a killing blow. It's just more like a bit of harassment. He's keeping Pusan on his toes. baiting out storms, baiting out scarabs, you know, and forcing Pusan to stay back at home a little bit. Pusan was trying to push across the middle map to make a slow push towards Savior's third, and Savior kind of drew him back a little bit, and he bought himself another 10-15 seconds. Is that enough time for him to actually get the stuff out in order to do this? Now Pusan is in a very vulnerable position in the middle of the map. He's going to try and push in here to this expansion. Savior has a lot of stuff, and he can come from all different sides, and that is the crucial thing here. Pusan his third is a little bit vulnerable to counterattack as well, but he really, Savior really has to deal with this main push more than anything else, and he's coming in with Hydralisks from all sides, Zerglings from all sides as well. These Zealots are kind of off by themselves, attacking some Hydralisks, and I'm not sure if that's really the place that they need to be right now. They need to be over defending those, well, I guess they are kind of defending the Dragoons by just engaging with the Hydros there, but now the Reavers are under attack. One goes down. There's still 3 left, though. This is a lot of firepower that Pusan has in store here still, but Savior, with 5 bases, can he macro enough to push back with his second wave? The first wave died, was blown apart by the Scarabs. Now he's getting Lurkers in here, burrowing right on top of the Reavers, and there's just not enough Dragoons to kill him quickly enough. Then the Reavers do go down. 1 Reaver is left. It goes down finally as well. Pusan is pushing in here, but the Reavers were really the heart of this army. Now, this shuttle, what does it have in it? If it has a couple Reavers inside of it, it may be able to reinforce this and actually keep up this attack, but Pusan has to turn around and go home. He's leaving the situation. He's going back. He's having to try and fall back, and he's actually going to go ahead and push down towards Savior's 4th base, which may have been a better target. I guess there was no great target, actually. Going into the 3rd was fine as well. There's even more defenses down here at the 6 o'clock position, but he's going to go for it anyway. Running with the shuttle. I do not know what's in that shuttle. There are not enough pixels left in this VOD for me to really tell what's going on, unfortunately. I apologize for that. Dropping off some Zealots in the low ground base. No, this is not an island. This is like, you know, would have been the raised main on Lost Temple, right? There are island bases on this map, but that's not one of them. So he's able to just run the Zerglings in and take care of those Zealots pretty easily. No major damage done. Pusan trying to take a 4th base at the top of the map as well. And, yeah, Savior, though, really well defended. I mean, dropping those Zealots down into that spawn point main was good to avoid those sunken colonies, but it really wasn't enough of an attack to do permanent damage. Savior coming in there now with a counterattack at Pusan's 3rd base. Pusan's army is up defending his 4th. He has to come back down here, but it's too late. He's lost the Nexus. He's lost the Nexus. He's going to have to rebuild that. So a pretty big blow, considering that Savior has 5 bases still going. His economy has not been hindered at all. And now he's even spending a bunch of money on Static D at all these bases just to shore up those defenses. Actually, it looks like he might have mined out one of them. It's hard to tell. Actually, Pusan's probably mined out his main by now. Maybe even mined out his natural. So we might need to get a look at those to find out. But Pusan might be in bad situation economically. This might be that window where the Zerg has not mined out their bases yet, but the Protoss has. We haven't seen the Protoss natural for a while. Yeah, there's the Protoss natural. All the probes are just lying around, sitting around, doing nothing because they've mined out the natural, which means the main is completely mined out as well. So Pusan now only mining at 1 base while that 3rd base rebuilds. This is a kind of a lull where Pusan is kind of vulnerable. He can't produce much of an army right now. Where are those probes going? What are they doing? Is he attacking with the probes? Did he accidentally catch them in a control group and he's attacking with them? Is this some kind of crazy all-in counterattack? He's like, I don't have any money. I have to go kill Savior right now because I have no choice. I cannot catch up economically. I just know that there's no way to do so. He does have that 4th base mining. I guess maybe rather than distance mine, he feels he wants to bring along probes with his army, which I guess it's better than not having them with them, I guess, in a way. But Savior has a drop force up here in the north, and he doesn't even need to drop like in the main or anything. Like, he's just gonna offload them. I guess the probes can soak up shots pretty well from the sunken colonies, which is good. Let the Dragoons do more damage. You know, every probe is 2 or 3 sunken shots, which is making more time for a Zealous to stay alive. Small counterattack is all that's needed to demolish that 4th base up in the top of the map, though. So Savior just has to hold this off, and he will have the economic victory. He will have the long-term victory, and I think we're going to see Pusan leave the game in just a few seconds here. There's the GG coming from Pusan. Savior takes the game. And just a quick reminder, and I know I've said this over and over and over again, but Savior is a scumbag. I don't want to give him any credit because he was one of the head people involved in the match-fixing scandal, which destroyed the reputation of esports in Korea in the late 2000s. So, you know, GG to him, great player. You know, got to give him that at least, that he was a great player. But didn't want to let a game go by where I gave him too much credit because screw Savior, man. But again, we're not watching this because of Savior. We're watching this because of Bisu, because we want to kind of get a little bit of analysis in of Savior's games and kind of see how he plays before we watch him play versus Bisu and kind of make a comparison there. And, you know, that's pretty classic ZVP, you know, going up and just building a bunch of stuff. Protoss could not get out of his base to harass enough to actually slow Savior down. He's just like, all right, I'm going to get 4 gases then. I'm going to tech up. I'm going to get 5 bases. I'm going to get a million billion units. And that's kind of all there is to it. So, you know, that's how it goes. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy that. Thanks very much for watching. We might do one more Savior game to kind of just get a little bit more context. And actually, we are going to do one more Savior game because I believe, if I remember correctly, it is versus a player that I do like. Let me just go back and check here. Yes, Savior versus Nalra is a really great game anyway, actually. So we'll go ahead and do that game as well. From the MSL. Savior and Nalra have played before this MSL, but they're going to have a little bit of a rematch in this MSL. But I'll talk about that more in that game. So we're not going to cast another Savior game. We're going to cast a Nalra game. And then we'll cast some Bisu games. And Savior just happens to be in those games. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. And we'll be checking out some more games in the future. And again, you know, I'm actually leaning towards, so, you know, last time I kind of wasn't sure what to do when I finished the previous OSL. And then I was like, well, let's just do the next OSL. So I went straight into the IOPS OSL. And I'm trying to decide what to do next. I kind of want to keep going and just go to the next OSL, which was the Ever OSL from 2005. And maybe cast that next. But, you know, if you guys have, if you're like sick of 2005, you want me to do some other time period or some other Star League, give me, you know, let me know in the comments or whatever, or send me a PM or whatever you want to do. And let me know what you guys prefer. Because after this Bisu games, we're going to try and figure out another thing to do. Of course, we might just go back into casting random games that seem cool instead of following a single Star League all the way through as well. And that's fine too. If you guys want me to just cherry pick some great games, we can do that also. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. GG. I will see you with another StarCraft game very soon.